Hello, all you hemorrhoids out there. It is I, Z3 KO Trinity. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys a book review on Stephen King's revival, Stephen King's revival. Now, this review, before we get started, is about as fake as these nipples are. Stephen King's revival. What's it about, you ask? Well, I'll tell you what it's about. It starts off with this preacher named Charles Lee Ray. And he comes into this town and he's all like, have you heard the good word today? Have you read up on some Joe Hill novels lately? And the whole town's kind of like pushing him aside, like, go preach somewhere else. Like in a elementary school or something. And this priest is like, why would I want to preach in an elementary school? What is that supposed to mean? But everyone in the whole town just keeps shoving him aside. He's like, you know what? You're going to wish that I was preaching to y'all one of these days. Well, there's this family called the Croods. And this family lives in the city. They're well-known people. Everyone's eyed with them. And, well, they end up crashing into a car wreck. Everyone dies except for the mom, and the mom's laying there half bleeding to death, and she's screaming, help, help, somebody help me. I can't feel my balls. So the preacher walks over there and goes, I would read you the goodwill, but no, y'all didn't want me around. So the preacher gets a lot of negative comments about that. Like, people start thumbs downing his Facebook statuses, and they're really cruel to him. And so he's like, yo, fuck y'all, I'm out. So he leaves, and when he leaves, ironically, his wife and kid ends up getting into a car wreck. And he's like, well, shit. So he gives up on God. He's like, you did this. I'm not going to believe you no more. And God's like, whatever. So he goes on his own and he joins the circus. And he starts off as a elephant poop shoveler. And he's like, ain't this some shit? Well, he starts shoveling the crab, throwing it aside. One of them accidentally hits him in the ear. I thought that was kind of funny. He's like, oh, I got doo-doo in my ear. But this guy shows up. His name is Henry. He's a little boy. Even though I said guy. But he's a little boy, trust me. Do you want to read this book? Well, anyway, the little boy walks up to him and he goes, hey, mister, there's some trouble coming into town back where you used to be. We need you to come back now and preach for everyone. And he's like, oh no, y'all done shunned me. He said, I ain't coming back there. No way, Jose. And the kid goes, I've got lollipops. They're in the far back of my van. And the preacher guy goes, oh, I like lollipops. Is it the ones with the Tootsie Rolls in the middle? And the kid's like, yeah. And he goes, I don't like the Tootsie Rolls in the middle. And the kid goes, well, I have the other ones in there also. And he goes, oh, okay. So he climbs into the little boy's toy truck. He gets in the far back of the trunk. Little boy shuts the trunk up and he's like, oh, God, what are you going to do now? Rape me? Oh, shit. What a twist. And the little kid takes him back to the main town. And the people, they're all gathered together and he's like, what are y'all going to do with me? And they're like, we need you to revive this city. We need you to bring it back to the way things used to be. 1990s. So he starts drinking this potion stuff that gives him electric abilities. And he uses these abilities to change people's thoughts. Like, for example, there's this one guy who used to be a heroin addict. and he needed help stopping. So the preacher puts his hand on his head, but first he texts back, some girl he met on Craigslist, and then he zaps the boy's mind, and then the boy's like, what's heroin? I've never heard of that. And he just cured him. He revived him, if you will. So he goes around performing these miracles. He even brought back a guy from the dead. He turned water into wine. Then all of a sudden, at the end of the book, the craziest thing, and if you don't want anything spoiled, please stop watching the video now, because I'm about to hit on the major spoiler, okay? Here it is. Jesus returns. He comes down onto the clouds, and he's like, you there, false prophet. He said, who are you going around spreading lies to all these people? And old Jacobson, Charles Lee Ray, he's like, well, what of it, Jesus? And Jesus is all like, well, you stop that or I'll pop you one. And Charles is like, bring it on, ZZ Top. And Jesus is like, that makes no sense. I don't have a beard. And then they start duking it out. Like, Jesus gives a couple elbows. Then this gym teacher shows up. And he's like, guys, please, stop this fighting. This is chaos. And so he ends up shooting Jesus, which doesn't affect him because he's already dead. And Jesus pulls out a gat and shoots him as well, which does affect him because he was alive. And you think that's the end of the story, but no. Apparently, the guy gets revived. He had another health bar. And at the very, very end of the book, he ends up sacrificing himself to save the whole town, to save the whole world. I'm talking about Jesus, that is. He sacrificed himself to save the world. But the guy, the preacher guy, he said, everybody, we need to just gather together. We need to say a quick prayer, and this will cleanse this entire town. So they all get together. They bow their heads. Bow your head, chicken. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, dear God. Oh, Lord Jesus. This ain't gonna work. I was trying to grab my Chucky doll. He ain't having that. But everyone bows their head, and they're like, Dear Charles Lee Ray, thank you so much for sacrificing all that you've done, your life that you've led, the bitches you've smacked. Just thank you so much for giving your time to really helping out this town. I mean, we couldn't have done it without you. And then at the very end of this book, huge plot twist, turns out he was heterosexual. I was like, what? I mean, I lost my page a couple times because I was like, I can't believe that. Let me reread that. What? But, yeah, all in all, Revival was a decent story, 1 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this little review. I hope I didn't spoil too much for it. Turns out the little boy did rape him in the car. I forgot to mention that little detail. I was going to spare you guys, but you know how Stephen King's a really messed up individual. Well, the kid's like, bend over, I'll shove this in your anus. And he goes, nah. But, yeah, Stephen King's the man. That's all I gotta say. I would lick his nipples. I really would. But thank you guys so much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. And seriously, no, I have not read this book. I have no idea what this book is actually about. But comment below and let me know if this should be the next Stephen King book I actually read. I was thinking about reading Dr. Sleep next. But comment below and let me know what the next Stephen King book I should read. This one or Dr. Sleep. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Z3 Kekapakakulus. And I guess... I will talk in a native language. Guess I'll see you on the next video.